Okay, so I am Deepa Rao Cesario. I'm the director for the Office of Learning Innovation, and I typically work with faculty, but this year I decided that we should really offer training for students at LIM on how to use the technologies. So we're going to cover Canvas in depth, a little bit about Zoom, as well as Flip and Padlet, just a few other technologies our faculty use. So I'm going to actually put the MyLIM URL in the chat because this is something that you should bookmark. You'll be going through MyLIM a lot. Now, my view of LIM is that MyLIM is going to look a little different because I'm staff and administrator, so I have a few more features to look at than you do, but essentially it's the same structure. So what you're going to see on the homepage is all of the upcoming events for you, whether it's a college-wide event or very specific to a group or a club that you've been participating in. There's more stuff down here like your email, OneDrive, Office 365, and a bunch of other stuff. I want to point out that you have a button that looks like this right here where it says staff useful links. You'll have one that says students useful links. So you should definitely click on that because it'll give you access to forums and other things. But of course, a lot of it is already built into the left side menu over here. So here's this useful links button is also right here, links, forms, documents. So if you're looking for like forms from the registrar, there's a good chance you'll find it here. Canvas lives right here on the left-hand side. Your LIM email also lives right here. I've got Sonus for faculty and staff. You should have Sonus for students here. And that's of course how you find and register for classes. The Microsoft 365 portal is right here. We are a Microsoft school, which means that everybody uses Office 365. So you have Word, PowerPoint, Excel. You don't have to pay for it. You can also download it for free onto your personal laptop. So that's really awesome too. For those of you who have come across career and internship services, they're probably going to ask you to set up your profile in Handshake. Here's Handshake right here. There's a bunch of other applications, like all students have the basic version of Zoom with their LIM email address. We have academic resources, so like Advisor Track, Acalog, which is the catalog. WC Online is tutoring at LIM. Web Store is where you get your free software for Office 365. If you're taking a course like digital design, you might also need Adobe Creative Suite. So that's where you would get it. And if you're taking some specialized courses like SPSS or statistics, you get the SPSS here. Also Unique PLM, which is part of the fashion merchandising program. Library resources, campus resources. Now, as I mentioned on the start, I typically don't work with students, I work with faculty. So if you have any technical issues with just general technical issues, you can always reach out to the IT support folks, and the email address for them is pretty simple. It's just itsupport@limcollege.edu. If you're having problems with Canvas, the Canvas support link is right here. It's also located in the Canvas shell. And there are two options. You can call Canvas or you can chat them. I have always found that chatting Canvas is faster than calling them. So just something to consider. So especially if you have any technical issues, and if you are having issues with Canvas, any kind, and somehow it affects your ability to submit assignments on time, include your professor in the CC for that email to Canvas, okay? Because that'll at least save you. You can say, nope, I emailed Canvas, I couldn't submit the assignment, and they're working on it, right? Other things, all of this other stuff is just extra. You don't really need to know it. So we're going to go into Canvas. Okay, so this is the Canvas dashboard. So someone says, oh, look on your dashboard. They're talking about the homepage of Canvas, and it typically has all of the courses that you're supposed to take for that semester. Most of you, if you're undergraduate, you should have the new student orientation. And if you're graduate, you'll have the graduate version of the new student orientation. You will have a bunch of courses, so anywhere between 3 and 5 courses, depending on whether you're graduate or undergraduate. You should also have the student services page, which is really helpful. It's basically got all student services collated on one Canvas shell. So if you're looking for advice, who's your advisor? Library resources, bunch of other stuff, who's counseling and accessibility, all of that stuff lives in that site. Up here is your account information. I'm going to just show you one thing here, which is the settings. If you click on settings, you can come here and click on for you, it's just going to be a plain icon, but you can click up here and upload an image so that you have a face associated with your name. I know a lot of the faculty really like that. You can add a personal email address here if you'd like. You have the option to update your pronouns. So you would just click on edit settings. And we have a ton of pronouns here. So somewhere there will be a pronoun, I hope, that addresses you appropriately. And then once you've done that, you just click update settings. Here's the dashboard again. The courses button is really after you've been here for a year or so, all those courses that have completed go into the courses button. So when you pop it out, you'll see all of your courses. And as the list gets longer and longer, you're going to have all courses here. Once a course is finished, you can still see the content. You just can't do anything in the course. If you've been assigned to a group in any of your classes, some faculty do like classwork, group work, you might find your groups here, but you can also go into the Canvas shell to find your groups. Here's the calendar. I recommend that if you haven't done it yet, check your calendar today, because we ask all faculty to add the deadlines for every single activity in the course. So even if you can't see the specifics for the assignment, you should be able to see all the deadlines. So I'm going to click on business spreadsheets. You're going to see all of the business spreadsheets here. Now, something you might notice that's a little quirky, I think, to LIM is that most of our courses tend to have deadlines on Sunday. So from a time management perspective, you should really build in time earlier in the week to do the work, because you may end up having 4 deadlines for 4 different classes on Sunday. There are other deadlines, of course, often a discussion board deadline. The first post of a discussion is on a Thursday, and then the second post is often done by Sunday. But I just want you to be aware that there is, it's pretty standard at LIM to have a lot of work due on Sundays. And some people love it because it's predictable, and some people find it very challenging. So if you're one of those people who's going to find it challenging, then I encourage you to start thinking about your strategy for managing the Sunday deadline. There's also an inbox. This inbox is your Canvas inbox. It's connected also to your LIM college email, but I recommend that you do all of your correspondence with your faculty through the Canvas inbox, especially because if it ever comes to the point where, you've asked your faculty member something and you are right, somebody will come to me and say, could you please look at this person's communication? And I can go back to the faculty member and say, yeah, they emailed you last week, you didn't respond, you need to give them the deadline extension. So that's why it's really important to use the Canvas inbox rather than just going through regular LIM email. There's also history if you want to look at what course you were just in and you don't want to do multiple clicks. Last but not least, let's not forget about the help button at the very bottom of the menu. You can see the support line phone number as well as the live chat. So I'm going to go into a demonstration course. If you're freshmen, first year students, you probably have to take Intro to Fashion Business. This is a demo Intro to Fashion Business course. So down the middle, we have the recent announcements. So every time your faculty member posts an announcement, it's going to end up on the top. Down here, we've asked the faculty to put their schedule. So this class is in-person plus virtual. Anytime you see the word virtual in a modality description for a course, it means you probably have to get on Zoom. So keep that in mind. They'll give you the days, the times, and the locations. Some faculty love to put the Zoom link here and they do not use the Zoom button. So keep that in mind, especially if you downloaded the Canvas app and you go in and click on the Zoom button and it's empty. It's probably because they put it on the home page, or worse, they put it into each module, even though I have told them not to do that. But those are the different places you can look. You can look on the home page of the course. You can look in the Zoom link, Zoom menu item, or you can go look into the module for the respective week. And below this, we have your faculty member course welcome. They'll tell you a little bit about themselves. The more important piece here is how to contact them. Some of your faculty members will give you explicit information about how and when to contact them. So for example, all the deadlines are Sunday, but we have faculty who don't want you to reach out to them on Sunday asking for help, right? So you want to be organized enough to reach out to them by Friday or Saturday, depending on what that note says. Down on the right side, you're going to see all the assignments that are due for the week, and then any assignment that's upcoming in the next week or two. So you can see September 8th, 9th, 13th coming up. You also have just a couple of things here. You can go straight to the course calendar by clicking here. If you go through the calendar on the left-hand side, it's going to give you deadlines for all courses aggregated in one place. If you go this way, it's going to give you just the one calendar you're looking for. All right, so once you've gone through the homepage, there is a syllabus button right here. And this is basically what the modules are going to look like. Some faculty love to lock the modules. You can see what's in there, but you can't actually click, and you can see a date that says, you know, this will open on September 12th. But let's click into the syllabus. Again, the syllabus pretty much looks the same for every single course. There are some outliers there, but you'll find the description, the learning objectives, the text, if any. Usually they provide a link. Either it's free to the e-reserves in the library, or it's to the LIM bookstore, which is Barnes & Noble, or to some website like Amazon. They might provide some additional recommended readings. We do have, like, I think we have the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal, and of course, Women's Wear Daily, Business of Fashion. Some of those are free through the library. So before you think you have to pay for something, go check the library resources or reach out to the reference librarians. This is the most important part of this syllabus right here, which is the grading criteria. It tells you, this one's a little bit more detailed, but it does tell you what the categories are and what the percentages. So you need to know this because this is how your grade is going to be calculated. And then all the way down here, you have course policies for this faculty member. She didn't really put very much, but there are lots of course policies that your faculty have specifically. So read through those policies because it will address whether or not, you know, like late policy, homework policies. I'm not going to click next because I'm in here as a pretend student, and so I can't get into the college policies, but I have them loaded. The college policies are just that this is something everybody has to adhere to. So it has, you know, what academic integrity, cheating, attendance, on time, what's considered excused, the on-time submission policy for students, and all the resources like accessibility, counseling, library, academic resource center with tutoring appointment links. The next thing that you might see if you are in a virtual class and have a virtual component like Zoom is the guidelines for participation in virtual class meetings. I suggest you look at it. Our school has policies. They want you to be on camera. And if you can't be on camera, then you should email your faculty member in advance and let them know that you can't be on camera. It's actually none of their business for why you can't be on camera. And so you don't have to tell them. So for example, if you have anxiety, it's none of their business. Don't tell them, just say, I can't be on camera. You're having technical issues with your camera or just, you know, with your computer. It doesn't matter. The trick here is to make sure you email them in advance to let them know that you cannot be on camera. And again, use the Canvas inbox just in case a grade dispute ever comes to light. With that being said, I would strongly recommend that you be on camera. A lot of your faculty are industry people, and the worst thing is for them to not remember who you are. And in virtual classes, it really helps for you to be on camera, or at the very least, upload a photo into Zoom so that they know what you look like. You want to be memorable, and you don't want to be remembered as the person who is never on camera. So let me go back in here. We're back. I'm going to get out of the syllabus. So this is essentially the structure. There's already a succeeding. It gives you information about academic resource. The librarian chat is built directly here, so you don't have to even get into the library website. You can chat someone at the library and ask for help. Advising and counseling information is here. And then these are the instructions for downloading Microsoft Office tools onto your desktop and Adobe Creative Suite. And then I'm going to just go in here and we're first going to look at you know, depending on which class you take, type of class you take, you're going to have a little bit of information or a lot of information. So this is an in-person mostly. So there's not a ton of information. If you're taking a 7-week or 15-week fully online class, you're going to have a lot more information in there. I'm going to take you into an assignment just so you can see what this looks like. So this has one attempt. Sometimes you'll have more than one attempt. If you have more than one attempt and you don't do so great on the first attempt, keep taking it until you do well. This is the assignment here. You can see all the way at the bottom, the faculty member has included a rubric. A rubric is just a set of expectations. I think rubrics are great because if you look at the rubric first, it will tell you exactly what the faculty member wants from you, like what is the bare minimum versus what's considered excellent. So always check the rubric out. You know, here they're looking at the currency of the article, the format, the grammar, citation. Let me close that up. And then there's different ways to submit, and faculty will choose different ways. So there's the just typing into a text box. There's the web URL. Now, if you want to link from a, you want to link to a document. So I'll give you this as an example. This is an Office 365 document. You would click on share and then share again. And then I would recommend that you just switch it to people in LIM. And what it does is it gives you a URL that you can copy, and then you can come back into the course and paste the URL here. And that should be enough. But you also have the option to upload a document from your desktop, where letting you know that your homework is done. And then the next example is just a quiz. Sometimes if you get kicked out of a quiz, your internet cuts out for a minute. That's when you want to contact your professor and let them know that you got kicked out. Or if some other technical issue occurs with your quiz, let your faculty member know always. Basically, with quizzes, you just click begin and go through. Here it says backtracking disabled, and that means the faculty will not let you go back to questions that you've already answered. So just keep the instructions in mind as you're going, because one quiz in one course will look different than another quiz in another course. A lot of the assignments tend to be discussion board assignments. Read the instructions carefully. This particular discussion board, not the best example, but often what happens is you're given a prompt, you know, based on last week's readings, tell us what you think about this particular thing. And then, oh, by the way, do that by Thursday, and then respond to 2 students by Sunday. So the way you respond to the actual post is to just click reply, and then you enter some text here, and then you post reply. Now, if you need to reply to students, you still have that reply button here. And so what I want to cover here is just, I want you to take a careful look at all of these buttons, because sometimes you might be asked to submit a video, sometimes you might be asked to, you know, include images. You know, you just want to know exactly what this is called a rich content editor. And if you've ever worked on a blog or another, you know, like a website type thing, this should look pretty familiar. It's pretty standard. So there's, you know, the size of the text. These are heading, paragraph format. These are really important if you're trying to make your content accessible. And then, of course, you have bold, italicize, underline, colors of texts, background, and then this is subscript and superscript if you want to add a URL. Now, instead of pasting in a link, you can, you know, go like this instead. So I'm just going to copy this over. And this is how you would hyperlink text instead of pasting in a URL. If you want to include an image, you can click here. You can upload images directly from your desktop. So let's go up, and I'm going to, oh, there we go. All right, great. So you can upload your image, you add your text. Alt text is just descriptive text. It doesn't have to be extensive, and it only allows 140 characters anyway. So you would just do that and click submit. This is going to be pretty big. You don't want it to big, so be that big. You can click image options and then change the size and make it smaller. One thing you should notice, there is an unsplash option too. So if you want to include, some kind of cool image with your text, you can also just find something and unsplash. Same thing, you want to add your alt text. Let's shrink this down too. Now you have the option also to record media in Canvas, and you might have faculty who say, hey, I want you to do an introduction and I want you to record it. So if you do this, you can upload it from the computer, but I don't recommend this. Everyone I know who's tried, it takes forever for the video to upload. So I would recommend that you just do the recording here. And this is the recording feature you can see. You can do microphone or webcam. You click start recording. It's pretty easy. It runs and then you click finish. And you can save it or start over if you don't like it. If you need to upload documents, you can do that here. You also have some editing options up here. All this pretty much the same functionality over here, but if you're in a math class, you can also do equations. If you need to embed something like a video, you can do that here. There is a YouTube function up here. It only gives you videos. You can search. I'm not a huge fan of the search feature. I think it's a little slow, but you can always come find another video and here choose the different embed sizes. And that will get embedded into your document as well. Let me remove this. It's a little bit better than posting the link because the link for the YouTube video actually makes the video super tiny. You'll see this in some of your classes where the faculty don't know how to use the embed functionality, so just keep that in mind. And then if you can also click here to grab documents from Office 365. I'm getting the login because I'm a student. Okay. Then I'm just going to click reply here. So this is kind of what it looks like. I didn't bother spacing, but you get the gist. This is the most important part of your LIM. Whoops, right here, grades is the most important part. I recommend that you check this regularly, weekly, or at least after every assignment has been graded, because this is how you know exactly how you're doing on each assignment. And down at the bottom, you'll get the total grade. I want you to know our faculty use a tool called Dropout Detective, and that tool is designed to help us find students who are struggling. So we've asked them to enable a tool called late grading, which automatically gives you a 0. Don't be panicked. If you've already worked it out with your faculty member to submit an assignment late, you'll still get the 0, but as soon as the assignment is submitted and the faculty has graded it, the 0 will change. You may not get the full point value if it's coming in late, but you certainly won't get the 0. Just keep that in mind. There's also library resources right here that I mentioned. If it's not here, it's also in that Succeeding in Your Canvas shell. And this is specifically for IFB, I think. Yeah, she's updated it specifically for IFB, which is nice. Usually it's just the general homepage. I recommend that you look at your faculty announcements. It actually does come to your LIM email, but we have 2 inboxes. We have a focused and an other, and sometimes Canvas emails go into other. And now let me just show you a couple of other things. You might be asked to do a flip grid, or what's now called MS Flip. It's a video tool, and it's designed to break the monotony of doing written discussions. If you're taking a fully online class, either in the 7-week modality or the 15-week modality, your faculty may use this tool because it's a lot of reading and writing when you're not actually having class meetings. So I just wanted to show you what Flipgrid looks like. There's a set of questions on the top, and all you have to do is click add a response. and start recording. There is a timer. You have to read what your faculty set as the timer. It's anywhere between 30 seconds and 10 minutes. So check out what the faculty member told you about how much time you have to be in Flipgrid, and then, map out what you want to say for that time frame. So I would say usually it's 3 minutes. So Padlet is the last one that I want to show you. Some of your faculty are using Padlet. It's a little bit like a Pinterest board. And if they're using it correctly, you will be asked to log in with your LIM credentials. So again, you'll click on the Microsoft login, and it should automatically log you in. And if it doesn't, then you're going to just type in your LIM credentials and password. And the way it works is that you just click anywhere on the board, or you click the plus sign, whatever you see first, and you'll add your subject. And then you have the option to upload document, take a photo, include a URL, add an image, and then a bunch of other things like a web search, music from Spotify, a YouTube video, a link, lots of different things. So it makes your posting a lot nicer to look at and much easier to look across all postings. There, you can pull. Not all Padlets look like this. Padlet has different functionality, and the faculty member will decide which one they want to use. Sometimes you might be restricted to adding content only to a particular column. Sometimes they're working on a timeline and they want you to put information on a particular column. They might ask you to create a Padlet that's not shared with everyone. And so then you would have to come into limcollege.padlet.org, and they'll give you the link and create your own Padlet. Maybe you have to do a mood board. So keep that in mind. Let's see, I think that's it for Canvas. And in terms of Zoom, if you're relatively new to Zoom, the things that you need to know, besides the fact that you're going to be asked to be on camera, is that your faculty like to use breakout rooms. So they're probably going to put you in a breakout room to do work. You're probably going to be asked to share reactions. So I've already pointed to the reactions tool at the bottom. So get familiar with that. They might ask you to participate on a whiteboard. So there's a whiteboard functionality that they might use. Sometimes they create polling using Canvas, but sometimes they use a different tool called Poll Everywhere, and that poll requires you to enter a URL onto your smartphone or on your computer, and then that gives you the question, and then you answer it that way. So that's it for Zoom, and that's it for this technology training. If you have questions, reach out to IT support for help, or reach out to the Canvas support folks. Welcome to LIM College. I wish you the best of luck in this academic year.